Hello and welcome back to just another opinion movie review. Today's movie, it's going to be a TV series, an anime series. Want to be the strongest in the world. This came out in like 2013 or whatever. So I think I said this in the last anime review that I did. I'm not good with names, especially Japanese names, so I'm probably gonna screw up on some of the names, and then I'm not going to go in full detail of all 12 episodes, but I'll just give kind of a rundown of what happened and give my thoughts on it and stuff like that. So we have our two main protagonists, Sakura and Elena. I'm not going to say the last name because I'm going to screw it up. So they're idols, and they're friends, but they're also enemies. They're both trying to beat each other. More Elena's trying to beat Sakura than vice versa. But their manager comes up and goes, "Hey, I got a good idea for you guys. How about we go to she's like, wrestling's pretty hot in Japan right now. How about you guys go do a tryout in wrestling, and basically we'll just get some views from there." So they go to this wrestling called Berserk, and Elena is like messing around, and she ends up pissing off one of the characters. Let's see if I can find her name. Rio Kazuma, and Rio's like, "Hey, yeah, let's not treat this as like a playground." And then she like not attacks, but does something to Elena, and then Sakura is like, "Hey, don't do that to my friend." And then like, we'll have a match. So they have a match, and you kind of think like, oh, this is gonna be like Sakura's gonna be like good, and now she gets her ass beat within like a couple of seconds. So it's like, okay, and then Sakura's like, well, I'm gonna become a professional wrestler, so I'm gonna challenge you, Rio. So we have that couple episodes of Sakura training, and she loses 64 or 65 matches in a row. And so keep in mind, I'm gonna have opinions towards the end, but I'm somewhat I'm a wrestling fan, so maybe Japan's different, but I'll have my opinions at the very end. So the big match comes up, and so she loses a bunch of matches, and then she ends up somehow she keeps training, but she's not really learning anything. Like, she's trying to, but like nobody's really teaching her. So then her coach, or one of another wrestlers, Misaki, goes, "Hey, yeah, let's go. Sorry. Sakura is about ready to just retire from wrestling because she's like, I can't do this anymore." And then Misaki sees this, and she's like, "Okay, I'll give you a lesson." And so, and I should say, all these matches end to a Boston Crab, which I didn't realize the Boston Crab was that deadly of a move. But Misaki puts her in a Boston Crab, said, you can't tap. There's no rules in this ring right now. So Sakura has to like fight her way out, and she ends up fighting her way out. And then so this match happens between Rio and Sakura, and then Sakura actually wins. So everybody's like, yeah, everybody wins. And then so Elena, she really wanted Sakura to win because she wants Sakura to come back to. I know I'm saying her name wrong. It's one of the names, I don't know why, but I just, for some reason, my brain's like, no, we're gonna say it like 5 different ways. So I apologize. Sakura, Elena wants Sakura to win, so then she'll come back to the idol group. So when Sakura wins, he goes, I'm going to continue on. I'm going to continue being a professional wrestler. Elena's like, what? And so there's also a second plot point, which I won't get into. Basically, Elena is now the head of the idol group, because now that Sakura's gone, there's nobody on her level that could compete with her. So she's kind of at a loss. Um, Now we have the next kind of arc of the story is now the lady from America. I don't. They never say America, but they say like I think they say Western. So I just assume. Well, she comes out in a cowboy hat when she wrestles, so I assume it's like. Well, I assume it's America because I think Japan just thinks we're all cowboys over here and stuff like that. So Misaki is she trained under her. Well, the lady's name is Jackal, and so she trained under her, and they're gonna have this big match, mentor versus student. But Misaki gets hurt, and then now they're having this like tournament for like these newcomers, and Jekyll sees something in Sakura, and she's like, well, you know what? I'm gonna fight her. And so the one thing I'll say right now, the one thing I hate about, not hate, but one thing that about this anime is like everybody like wants to challenge Sakura, and it's just like Sakura sucks. I mean, she is a like you're just like yeah, let's fight the noob or whatever. So they have they do all the training and stuff, and then Sakura fights Jackal, and Jackal basically she sells all the moves that Sakura does to her, but she's like, no, you're not really hurting me. So this is I'll get into it later. So Jackal ends up just beating Sakura, and that kind of ends that arc. But Sakura's like, I get what she was doing. She was selling my moves to make the crowd more excited. Okay, I get this thing now. So then our next arc is the Blue Panther kind of ruins everything, and now that just pisses off Sakura. Just call her main character. I'm just gonna call her main character from here on out. So main character gets mad. So, but so back with what I skipped over. Back with the rookies all fighting each other. The Blue Panther kind of comes in and takes away the glory of all the newcomers, and that's what set off main character. So main character now is kind of like, oh well, no, we throw a plot point in here. We're like this character, I think it's Moe. She's like, oh, I wanna train with the best. Let me train with you, main character. So main character's like, wait, what? And main character still sucks. I mean, she just sucks as a wrestler. But so then the Blue Panther is like, I want to challenge you, main character, and if I win, you have to retire forever, retire from wrestling. And then main character's like, well, okay, well then I want to challenge you, Blue Panther, and if I win, you have to reveal your true identity and say sorry for interfering in our rookie match. So the day comes, they go to wrestle. Before they even wrestle, main character and Blue Panther takes off her mask, and it's Elena. Surprise! Hey! Now Blue Panther is actually this different character. I don't know if they have it on the list. I think her name's Jury. No, it's not Jury. Well, anyways, she's one of the students of Jackal. She's actually the third of the three that trained with Jackal. So Elena and Blue Panther and Elena come up with this plan, like, hey, you want your friend back? We'll just wrestle her and get her to retire. So they end up wrestling, and somehow Elena is like almost better than main character. Like main character like literally just sucks at wrestling. And so main character actually wins, and then Jackal comes out and goes, Well, there's a big debate between the fans. Half the fans are like, hey, you should go back to being an idol. The other fans are like, hey, you should be a wrestler. And then the main character's like, I don't know what to do. And Jackal comes down and goes, how about you just do both? And they're like, okay. And so they have a concert right after the match between Elena and main character. And then basically it ends with now their Elena and main character back to being friends and enemies, frenemies. So my opinion on it, this anime actually sucks. I'm sorry to say it. It was I don't. Sometimes I'll usually check my phone, and there's times where I just was checking my phone. It's on the background, and I was just like, I don't care what the hell is going on. The Boston Crab, what I stated earlier, the Boston Crab is like the one thing that always beats main character. Like main character's like, I don't know how to get out of this. It just hurts. It's just, oh my god. It's just like somebody train her how to get out of Boston. And I'm a wrestler. I'm a wrestling fan. So like a way to get out of the Boston Crab is like if you do like a push up and then somehow roll under the person doing the Boston Crab. That's a technique to get out of the Boston Crab. It's a way. Now, in this show, the way to get out is like, oh, we got to get rope break, we got to crawl over, and it's just like, oh my god, we can use something else, and that happens. Literally every single wrestler that faces main character is like, oh, if I just do the Boston Crab, I'm gonna win, and it's just, it gets to that point where like, how there was a wrestler Brian, he was part of Edge's stable. Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. Kurt Hawkins was on a losing streak, but they made it look interesting. They're like, oh, he keeps losing, but he was never on TV. Most of the losses came off TV, and they're just like, oh yeah, he's at like 200 now, 200 days without a win, and then at WrestleMania, then he got his big payoff and he won. But I just don't know how all this stuff works over in Japan. They're just like, yeah, you keep losing, yeah, that's all right. We'll keep putting you on the main stage, and then all of a sudden, like every single wrestler wants to challenge main character. Like guys, like I'm sorry, but if I was to be paying money to go to a wrestling event, and I know wrestling's fake, I know that, but if I were to go to pay, I would not pay to see Kurt Hawkins, a guy who's lost 200 and some, almost, I think he got to 300, a full year of losing. I would not pay him to watch Roman Reigns. Like, I would not be like, oh my god, this is going to be the match of the century. Especially after Kurt Hawkins got a win. If he got a win, and then it's like, yes, now I can believe that main character can now beat, or no, Kurt Hawkins can now beat Roman Reigns. It's like, no. Like, I'm sorry, I don't think these people who did the anime watch wrestling. The other thing, there's like hardly any wrestling moves, and when they do wrestling moves, they kind of do cuts where like they go for the grab, and now it's like in the air, and now it's like on the ground. Like there's no like animation of the moves going from start to finish, which is fine. It saves on time. I'm not, I don't care about that. But it's like when it's the same moves, and it's the same Boston Crab over and over and over, and then the one single leg Boston Crab, and then like the pile driver, and it's like, you got watch wrestling. There's more to this than I don't know. But so I was gonna state this at the very beginning, but I guess I waited. If you made it this far, thank you. I appreciate it from my like terrible rambling. This is also an ecchi, I think that's what they call it. Basically, it's not it's like hentai, but it's I don't know. I just the first, I didn't realize. I mean, I knew it was I knew it was fancy. I didn't realize that they actually showed like the nipple. There's two types of or three types. There's no nudity, but like there's no nipple or anything. Everything's kind of like taken off, and then there's like full nudity, like nipple. And so they do full nipple, and it was just like, yeah, okay, whatever. And so there's like only a couple. It's the first couple episodes, and then I don't think they do it again. But yeah, so Out of a scale of 1 to 5, I honestly give this a 2. Now, there's, like I said, this is like, there's a lot of whining from main character. There's a lot of plot points that just it doesn't make sense. There's characters. There's a guy, like, he has nothing. Like, he's just a fan. Like, he literally just a fan. They just threw him up there and like, yeah, he's just gonna be the guy. Come on, main character, come on. It's just like, oh my god, dude, he can. Oh, his name's Kachu. Or I'm sorry, I it's Kaicchou, Kachu or something like that. But yeah, it's just, they have all these cool. So the other thing, there's other characters. There's like Hornet, which was cool. There's Karua. She has pink and yellow hair. There's like I think her name's Yoshika, and like, she's a heavier set woman. But there's like so many things they could have done in this anime, and they're just like, no, we're just gonna focus on a couple characters. Like, it's like, I don't know, you had so much potential, and you're just like, no, we're gonna tell this one little story, and for some reason, main character's like, she has the will to go on, but she just sucks. And like, literally, she just sucks. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Tune in next week for another Just an Opinion movie review.